with the situation, I think you guys have already announced that Brian will miss the 2 semesters. Do you expect any time he might have to sit after that if the NCAA starts coming around?
Yeah, transfer status isn't the first thing on the agenda. Okay. It's reinstatement. So we got to figure out that part. Compliance is on it. They got to figure that part out, and then once that's figured out, then I'm sure they'll try and figure out the transfer part of it.
Is there a chance he could come back maybe earlier than the beginning of next semester?
We got no idea. I got faith in Chance Miller and the compliance people in our department, and they'll do their due diligence, and whenever the NCAA and them, whenever it happens, no one's in a rush for anything right now. It's just trying to figure whatever that step is, and everyone will do their jobs.
Brian, can you take us to the timeline of kind of who reached out to who and how it started with Brian and this recruitment?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole background of how the recruitment went, but you're lucky like me. You've been in this business for 4 years now. You know a lot of people, and I get the fact that a lot of people want to create opinions, and that's their right, and they do whatever they want to do. People that are in the business that know me, they know what I stand for, who I am, and what I'm about. And then the advantage that we had on our staff is Chuck Martin recruited him at Indiana. So there was a relationship there with him and the young man and the family, which allowed us to have a little background as to who they are as people. And so it wasn't a long, drawn-out process, I can tell you that. It's got me thinking here. Probably second, third week of December, somewhere in there, is when the whole thing got started.
Frank, did you have to kind of say, whoa, hold on a second, what, are we going to go through with this just because of what Brian is alleged to be involved with?
I don't judge people for their successes or their mistakes. That's not who I am. I'm into teaching, I'm into educating, I'm into helping people. You can't help people who don't want to be helped. So, we had to, I know this, I trust the people I work for here. And the people I work for here, in a day and age where presidents don't stay at schools for more than maybe 5 years, we got a president that's been a rock here for a long time. We got an AD that I don't think there's a more ethical man on the face of the earth than Ray Tanner. And if he hasn't proven that to all you guys in this community for his time here, then you guys haven't paid attention. And I trust the people I work for. They wouldn't have signed up for something that was going to bring something negative to them. Obviously, we all knew that we were going to have to answer some questions. There were going to be concerns. We weren't prepared to deal with that. We wouldn't have done it. No, it was a matter of just communicating and making sure that we didn't mislead the family. And one day they'll get to speak, and whenever that day is, you guys can ask them. But I know they were misled by a bunch of schools since all this started, what was it, early November or whenever. But I'll let them speak. I don't want to speak on their behalf.
Was there any assurances were you given that this investigation wasn't going to be a problem for you guys moving forward with Brian?
I think compliance is in charge of all that. I mean, I've read that whole case, every page, every paragraph, every sentence, so I know what the case says. But I believe I'm not very good with English. I'm good with some words you guys don't like, but basically the way it's been expressed to me is that the young man has been cleared by the FBI. I don't know if that's the right English or not, but I trust in the people I just mentioned, Chance Miller in compliance, Ray, Dr. Pastides. If we thought in any way that young man was still being investigated by the FBI, we probably don't do this.
What were your initial, trepidations in starting this, and what subsided those?
There you go with those words. Say that again.
As far what were your initial, was there a concern going in, and what I guess subsided those concerns?
Yeah, the concerns was to make sure that the legal part of it was not, the kid was not in the middle of legalities. We felt that he's not, and based on what the FBI put out, that's what everyone understands. You know, so because once the legal part's out of the way, then it becomes an NCAA matter. NCAA matter, we don't rule on it, but we can manage and figure out internally here. You know, we felt that the legal part of it is to the side, and we didn't feel that way. We would not have moved on it.
Right, can he practice with you guys right away?
Yeah. He didn't practice today. He's been running around. All of you that are Gamecocks, getting his Carolina card and all that other stuff, and getting himself situated. So putting a schedule together, the whole thing, all the stuff that every first semester guy goes through. But he'll probably be on the court tomorrow.
Is he excited about this?
Yeah, man. It's an unbelievable kid that obviously, listen, we all got a chapter in our life that we're not comfortable with. And the best part about life is when you can go on to the next chapter and start enjoying life again. All he wants to do is be a college kid. He just wants to be a college kid. He wants to enjoy, wants to be a teammate. It's all he's ever done. And I'm excited for him. You know, when we had the conversation that we had admitted him and that, you know, our leadership was going to stand up and fight for reinstatement, that kid almost started crying. You know, it's a wonderful family. The young man is just incredible, and I'm happy for him. When you see joy in an 18-year-old's face, you know, as a person that cares about people, it makes you feel good.
What's the timetable on that application for reinstatement? Is there a hearing, or have you been given any assurances on that?
We're in no rush. It's not like we have to reinstate him to clear him by, you know, February 1st. There's no rush, man. He just wants to be part of a team. He wants to be in college. He wants people that are going to believe in him and fight for him. We signed up for that. And Chance Miller and the leadership of our university they'll take those steps. And, you know, he just got on campus, so it's not like there's been in-depth conversations with our leadership about what you're asking, about the whole reinstatement. What we know, we wouldn't have signed up for it if we didn't think he was going to eventually go back on the court, you know. But in the meantime, we're giving the kid an opportunity to move on with his life and grow and just, you know, enjoy life, man. It's, you know, it's at that age, the last whatever months it's been, 3-4 months, that I'm sure that hasn't been fun for him.
Coach, from a basketball perspective, what do you think he will bring to the program?
Yeah, I mean, he's an unbelievable player. I mean, I watched him play in high school. I watched him play summer ball. And you can actually put him at point guard if you wanted to. That's, you know, he's multi-skilled, great team player. He's not one of these guys that just plays for himself. He plays with teammates. He's humble, very talented, very offensively, very gifted, can really shoot, really pass. You know, he's in that 6'7", 6'8" range. He's good. He's a very talented player. And the best part about the whole thing is how humble he is and how much he wants to be a teammate. It's not about, let me take a platform to make myself look good. He just wants to be a part of something, and that's I know that he'll fit in great in the locker room.
You obviously have expectations for your players outside of basketball. In your conversations with him, did you find that he not only accepted it, but he almost absorbed it?
Yeah, it's who he is, right? It's who he's been his whole. All you got to do is speak to people that have been a part of, the real part of his life. And there's not one person that gives you any negative vibe about him. I mean, I'm not going to give you details. He's a 3.5 student at Louisville. You know, it's you look at his high school career. He was an unbelievable student. His teachers, his coaches raved about him. He's a big-time kid. I mean, is he going to make mistakes as a 19-year-old? You know, a year from now, of course he is. Just like you did, and just like I did. Shoot, I still do it. You know, but but he's a wonderful kid, and he's about the right things. And that's the part that's so exciting to me in this, is that, you know what? 2 years from now, this might be the greatest feel-good story of all time. You know, that somebody that's a real good kid, a university stood up to give him an opportunity. He does right, we do right, and he goes, you know, and has unbelievable success. And you know, it's that's what education's all about, man. It's not about being perfect and avoiding mistakes. It's about growing and understanding and just, you know. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. Not because I think that he's a great basketball player. That's obvious. It's because of who he is as a kid. I think he's phenomenal.
Frank,
Is
what's
he
his
on scholarship?
mindset right now, and how do you move past, you know, all of the stuff that's happened in the last year with him?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a part of it, so he doesn't have to worry about. And from what the information I have, neither was he. So I don't have to sit around and speak to him about the mistakes he's made, because all this is eventually we're all gonna find out. But I don't think he's made mistakes. You understand what I'm saying? And so, but we'll talk. It's part of the growing process. We'll talk about everything and help him move forward. You know, the biggest mistake we all make in life, and it's the way kind of life works right now, which is frustrating, is we want to persecute and create opinions on people that are part of something that wasn't right. And then we all dwell on the mistake rather than, okay, man, he made a mistake. There's repercussions in life when you make mistakes, or you're a part of whoever makes a mistake. And you pay your debt to society and you move on, man. And, you know, we're trying to, I'm into moving forward. I'm not into going backwards. I'm not into being in neutral. I'm into going forward. And my excitement for him is the joy I see in his face, that he feels that he's a part of a school that's willing to believe in him and stand up for him and fight for him. And I see the joy in his face as soon as I told him that we'd be willing to get on his side on this.
Frank, is he on scholarship this semester?
Yeah.
Frank, you talked about kind of his willingness to be part of a school and a college and everything like that. So this might come across as dumb, but just you've assured that he's not going to go to the draft, you know, in June.
I'm different. I'm not into all that. I mean, I don't know. If you got an 18-year-old son, they told him he's going to be first top 10 pick in the draft, what are you going to tell him? I mean, you know, who am I to force people to, you know, I didn't do it with PJ. I never did it with Michael Beasley. I didn't do it with Bill Walker. I'm not going to do it with him. I'm not treating him differently than I've treated any player that's ever been a part of the group of people I try to lead. You know, it's we're trying to give him an opportunity to be at peace so he can move forward with life and be excited about who he is, who he's always been. And that's what we're going to do. And, you know, I can tell you my conversations with him, he plans to be here next year. They're a loyal family. He's a loyal kid. And you know, my conversations with them, I did not say, well, we're not doing it unless you come and stay, because then it's about basketball. And it wasn't about basketball. It's about people. But I'm a dad. My son's 18 years old. If you told me he's going to be a 10th pick of the draft in May, I'm saying, I like you a lot. My son's going in the draft.
Frank, you mentioned Chance a couple of times with his unique experience being in the NCAA.
Yeah.
How much did that help you guys and kind of streamline the process and give quick answers to questions in a difficult situation?
That you know, John, that's you know, Chance. I don't want to speak for Chance, but his background as a lead investigator, as a person that dealt with a lot of big time eligibility cases and campuses doing right and wrong. I mean, he was in charge of that for a while. And to have him on our side, he's not going to lead us into problems. On the contrary, he knows where the potholes are at. He knows, you know, the difference between hitting a pothole and getting caught in a sinkhole. And if he didn't feel good about this, Coach Tanner wouldn't have signed up for it, and I wouldn't have signed up for it. That's the kind of faith that we have in him and the way he runs his department. I said this a long time ago, Chance Miller's a star. You know, there's some people you come across that are good at their jobs, and then there's others that are stars at their job. He's a star at his job. He's about kids but he protects his campus. And that's, you know, that's, we're in education, man. That's what it's about, man. It's about helping people. It's about, you know, if someone does something wrong, yeah, of course there's going to be penalties and all that. We get all that. But let's not start judging people on mistakes. Let's not do that, because we need to look in the mirror when we do that stuff.
What would you say, you mentioned possible negative attention, what would be your message to those who would think that bringing him on would bring about negative attention?
If we played him and he was ineligible, then we're not doing it for the young man. We're not doing it for the right reasons. We're doing it to try and win games. And at the end of the day, we're trying to recruit high-level players that fit who we are as people here. And we wouldn't sign up. I would hope you guys, being around me now for 6 years, the same way, you know, some people want to form opinions on you know, without knowing me and who I am on a sideline or whatever it may be, would also know that I'm not signing up for people to do things the wrong way. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to have a bad teammate on my team. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing people that make mistakes here that have embarrassed this university under my watch. They've been dealt with. I would hope you guys know that that's how I do my job, and I'm not going to change. That's who I was when I was a JV coach, and no one in here cared about the decisions I made. And that's who I am, you know, after going to Final Four 32 years later, whatever it's been. It's who I am. I'm not changing. I'm going to do what's right for this. This university believes in me. That's why I work here. The people that lead this university believe in me. That's why I'm still here. Make sure, you know, it's not like they extended my contract because I went to a Final Four. They extended my contract the year before without going to the NCAA tournament. That's the kind of relationship that we have with the leadership and myself and my family around here.
Frank, how does bringing in Brian make this year's team better overall?
Oh, it's like, for example, now in practice, Justin Minaya has to guard him every single play. You know, I've had to practice Justin Mackey for the last 7-8 days, which is nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to take a shot at Justin, but it's not like Justin had been preparing to be in practice up until 7 days ago. You know, Corey Holden's been out. Sonny practiced. Today was Sonny's first practice from beginning to end since 9-10 days ago, whatever day he sprained his ankle. You know, you get another real good player on the court. It means that you know, now when you prepare in practice, you're preparing against that level of a player, which is important. But he doesn't know what we do, so it's going to take time for him to understand the, you know, our concepts and terminology and things of that nature.
Frank, what's his basketball life been like over the last semester? Yeah, he obviously wasn't able to practice at Louisville. What's he been doing? And is he almost as excited to get back on the court in a competitive situation as he is just to be admitted?
Yeah, John, you know, I don't want to speak for Louisville. I don't work there. I don't know why they did. Well, none of my business. That's not my problem. But that's the biggest thing. That's been his biggest void, is that he hasn't been a part of a team. And, you know, and the fact that this university is willing to stand up and believe in him so he can move forward, and that he now has a locker room where he can go in and get dressed and go in and lift weights and go practice, which he's done his whole life, brings a peace to him. It gives him the ability to kind of see a little light, that, you know what, there's some light there at the end of the tunnel. I'm around people that are going to give me a chance and fight for me, and I'm going to be able to go back to just being a college kid and play basketball and pursue the dream that I, you know, had in place, you know, up until, in November, whatever. There was something early. I keep saying early November because that's when Louisville decided they were not going to reinstate him. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on that. I think that's what it is. But, you know, so he's excited to move forward. And you know, kids that are 18, 19 are simple, man. Their lives are simple. They just they're not trying to complicate their life, man. They just want to do things that their peers do, and that's just be one of the guys. And you know, I'm sure he'll be at the women's game today. I'm sure he's going to be ecstatic that he can walk around and have guys around him that are his teammates, and he's just one of the guys again. You know, I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun for him.
In terms of this Saturday's game, what does Georgia do so well that's made them successful this season?
Yeah, Mark Fox doesn't get enough credit for the job he's done at Georgia. I mean, you know, it's what he's done at Georgia is unbelievable. I can tell you this, in my 10 years of coaching, that's the one team that we can never get them to play out of character. They've won some, we've won some, but we never get them out of character. We can't ever get them to speed up and play differently than he wants them to play. And that's Mark. That's how his teams are. That's why every one of our games, whether it was 2 years ago where they beat us 3 times or it was last year when we beat them both times, all our games are like just rock fights because we don't get out of character, neither do they. So both teams play through their strengths, which ends up meaning that, you know, the games are going to end up that way. And but, you know, Mayton's real good. All his guards all played last year, so they have experienced guards. Obidi has developed as a 3-year starter to now, you know, he's a lot more aggressive offensively, not just rebounding and defending. They've got 2 high-level freshmen in Claxton and then number 20, a young man from Georgia, I can't remember his name right now, Hammonds. Those 2 guys are 2 high-level freshmen that are both in that 6'8", 6'10" range. So they're good. That's why they you know, they've played so well. That's why they've won the games that they've won. You know, at Marquette, or you know, and so.
Frank, you said after Alabama there were some things that had to be worked on. These couple of days in practice, did you see progress?
Yeah, you know, Pete. You know, we continue. Like going into Vanderbilt, I thought our guys were a lot more vocal, a lot more aggressive, and then when we got in the moment at Vanderbilt, the voices got louder. Against Alabama, as the game got hard, the voices got quiet, and that's you know, challenge for our team right now. You know, we you know, we all want to be loud and be heard when things are easier, and when things get hard, then you know, it takes someone with a lot of confidence and courage to stand up, and we're trying to get that out of the guys right now, and that's where our biggest struggle as a team right now is that when you end up in a difficult part of a game, we get very quiet, and that when the game is hard and the coach's voice is the loudest, that's a problem on a team, and you know leaderships, and there, you know, like leadership is not just player to player. Leadership's also player to coach. There'd be times last year where I'd be mad at a player coming off the court, and Senderis would start the huddle by grabbing me and saying, "What do you need me to run?" Just to get my mind connected to him rather than on the guy making the mistake.
No idea.
Is that a butt dial?
Will Brian be on the bench for home games, and is he going to travel with you guys as well?
No, he can't travel.
Okay.
That's part of the transfer part of it, since we don't know, he can't travel. But him and Rakim will both be on the bench for home games, and but neither one will travel with us when we go on the road. No Rakim Felder questions.
Are we allowed to ask?
None. I mean, I've been asked. Oh, that's Kornbluth's not here. That's why. He just got here today. He's doing great. He also is ready to move forward with life, and I've got some things in place that he has to do on a regular basis to not get in good graces. He's already in my good graces. You know, it is. We're moving forward, not dwelling on negativity, but there's a sense of responsibility that he's going to have to be held accountable to for his own good. And I'll eventually share those with you. I don't think this is the time for all that. But he's excited. You know, he walked there. We're in the middle of practice, and all of a sudden I hear a voice I haven't heard around here in a while. I turn around. He's on the court coaching the guards up. You know, we missed that.
Is he going to be allowed to practice right around the gym?
Yeah. He's cleared. I could play him tomorrow if I wanted to. If I wanted to put him in, we need a point guard. Like, I can use his personality and I can use a point guard. It's not the right thing to do. Not the right thing to do. You know, if we lose and you guys are mad all year because we didn't win enough games, you know, and everyone, you write the stories and social media is blowing up that Frank, you know, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's dumb. It's all right, man. Get that line. Like I told our players the other day, there's a line of people that don't think I'm any good and don't like me. The good thing for me is that I don't have a line. I have an army of people that believe in me. So I worry about the army of people that believe in me, not the line of people that don't think I'm any good at what I do. That's part of the deal. But yeah, Raw, we're moving forward with him. You know, we're not gonna treat him like he's an outsider. He's already dealt with that. He's back, and if we weren't willing to move forward with him like we are with Brian, we wouldn't have brought him back.
With him and Brian both kind of being part and going forward, does it give a little jolt still to this current state of the program? Like, can you feel, a little more kind of positive vibe toward your team right now?
Yeah, you know, one thing that bothers me is that, like, there's an opinion out there. Like, I had this guy, national guy, call me last night. I don't even know why I answered the phone. I didn't know the number, but my dumb, you know what, I answered. And you know, there's an opinion, like he said, well, you know, you guys are having a down year. I said, stop. We've won 10 games. Down year. I've been a part of a down year. You don't win 10 games in early January and you're having a down year. So it's, you know, people that want to complain that there's no excitement about our team is because they don't pay attention, you know. And, you know, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck to you. I'm just telling you the truth. And I'm not consumed with people being excited about our team. I'm consumed with our players being excited about our team. And those guys are. And when you add the personality and the toughness of Rakim Felder to your practices, the leadership qualities that he has, and a young man like Brian, the talent that he is, it's going to make our team better, which is what matters to me. And, you know, and people don't think that our team is any good. That's their right. They want to have the opinion that we stink, and they have whatever opinion they want to do. It's no skin off my back. They said that last year in the middle of the season. You know, I wonder where those guys are at right now.